former RBA player. Charles Chuck Barkley, the bald one, puts LeBron James back into the outdoor grill with some lighter fluid and a match. Charles Barkley begs LeBron James like a 90s R&B singer dancing outside in the rain with no shirt on. Charles Barkley does LeBron James dirty and funky. Funkier than a construction worker who done worked 8 hours straight and ain't took a bath in 9 days. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 days. I'm talking about sleeping in the work uniform and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Barkley cow poops on LeBron James. Please retire James. Recliner James. But Charles Barkley urges LeBron James to retire immediately and do a decision part 2. And instead of taking his talents to South Beach, he urges LeBron James to take his talents to the house on the couch. But here's what Charles Barkley had to say. This article is per Newsweek via MSN Sports, and the headline reads, Charles Barkley urges LeBron James to make tough career calls soon. The article goes on to say, the Los Angeles Lakers improved to 7-2 on Wednesday night with a thrilling 118-116 win over the San Antonio Spurs. It says through 9 games, they've managed this success without superstar forward LeBron James, who has been sidelined with a sciatic issue dating back to before the season. It goes on to say while Lakers personnel remain hopeful he can return by mid-November, he will soon turn 41 in December, and when he steps onto the court this season, he will officially become the longest tenured active player in RBA history. It goes on to say, although James shows no sign of slowing down, he averaged 24.4 points per game, 8.2 assists, and 7.8 rebounds last season. RBA legend Charles Barkley believes James faces a tougher career decision and hopes he make it, quote, sooner rather than later. Charles Barkley goes on to say, quote, I hope he leaves sooner than later because I hate to see great players out there struggling. I really struggled my last year, probably my last 2 years. It was very frustrating and humiliating for me. Obviously, LeBron is a better player than me, but I don't want to see great players just hanging on. He went on to say, quote, I would love to see him have a farewell tour, then just walk away because he's one of the 3 greatest players I've ever seen after Michael and Kobe. So I don't want to see him hanging on just for the heck of it. But Father Time is always going to win. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck, bro. I'm going to be honest, man. Charles Barkley, in my opinion, is being fake here, bruh. He being fake. Truthfully, Charles Barkley doesn't care. He's not concerned about LeBron James retiring because he cares about his well-being and him playing too long and being that old guy like he was and that he just don't got it no more and just refused to let it go. And his numbers start declining, blah, blah, blah. Him moving slow. The truth is this. He wants for LeBron James to retire so the game can move past him and other players in the RBA can finally get their shine and their attention like they deserve. Other players could be talked about right now. He doesn't care about it being humiliating and LeBron James farewell tour. He doesn't care about none of that. And Charles Barkley just don't want to say it because he knows that the bronze sexuals, the LGBTQ is going to get on his case and say that he's hating for saying that LeBron James should retire and say that, oh, you weren't that great when you were LeBron James' age at 41. So you're hating and you want for him to just retire. You're jealous because your career didn't pan out like LeBron James and you didn't win championships, blah, 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 right? But once LeBron James retires, he knows that the talk won't be centered around LeBron James having sciatica and when he's coming back and if he's faking an injury and using the fake injury as leverage to get the Lakers to resign him. That's really what it's all about, Mr. Barkley. The Lakers are obviously doing better without LeBron James, and they don't need LeBron James. And the franchise will do way better once LeBron James retires. But not only will the Lakers do better once LeBron James retires, life itself will be better once LeBron James retire. I mean, just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. And I know a lot of you were too young and weren't born during this time, but I remember growing up in the late 90s and the early 2000s before I even knew about a LeBron James, right? Before I knew LeBron James even existed. I mean, during this time, the air smelled fresher. It was a different atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen. And if you guys weren't allowed to witness it, what a time to be alive before LeBron James. BLJ, before LeBron James. Not BC, BLJ. I mean, we used to literally watch and one mixtapes, and we played outside. We watched full basketball games and actually went to those games. But now, because of LeBron James, all we want to do is watch RBA highlights. LeBron James ruined the game for me. Like, it's so bad that I don't even care to watch games or the highlights no more. He's ruined basketball so much for me that it's to the point that I don't even like the sound or to watch a basketball bounce up and down no more. No, I'm exaggerating, but the man just took the love and competitiveness out of the sport. I mean, he exposed the rig. Like, I almost wish that I never knew that the RBA was rigged. I wish I would still sleep sometimes. But now that I know the truth, it's just not fun anymore. But LeBron James should have been retired years ago. LeBron James should have retired after he broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. LeBron James really should have retired last season after he played with his son, which is going to show you that that's not what it's truly all about. And I hope that LeBron James and Bronny James are a package deal. I pray that when LeBron James officially retires and does the farewell tour, which ultimately he's, in my opinion, using his retirement as leverage also. But I pray that when LeBron James finally does his farewell tour, that Bronny James will announce his retirement as well. Because I don't want to see LeBron James' face and dancing and the attention to be on him at Bronny and Bryce James games. You know, that's LeBron James' only hope of keeping his kids' careers relevant. Because once LeBron James is gone, so is his children, for sure. LeBron James no longer brings no value to the league. The TV ratings are declining. The RBA revenue is declining. There's no competitiveness within the sport. The dunk contest has been obliterated. It's done. Finito. Nobody want to watch full games. They rather watch the highlights. The commentary is biased. Nobody wants to attend these games no more. Popcorn, $40. Hot dogs, $30. Tickets, $500. And that's for the nosebleeds. Franchises are getting exposed for sports gambling. It's rigged. It's scripted. We don't want to watch the game no more because LeBron James ruined it. I would much rather watch mukbangs and watch people eat on YouTube than to watch LeBron James play. I would much rather watch someone clip their toenails than to watch LeBron James play. I would rather hear Mariah Carey say, "It's time," before I watch LeBron James play. So Charles Barkley, join the club. We all want LeMorgan Freeman James to retire.